And so I will note for our viewers that the shards, of which they need 32, are all in chests, and they're all trapped chests.
Mm-hmm. And those trapped boxes are pulling from B-side encounters, so have fun with that.
No, they're pulling from local encounters.
Local B-side encounters.
Okay, then I must be not entirely sure what that means.
So what essentially that means is that the encounters that would normally be in that zone, but it's the B side of those encounters that would be in that zone. For example, Spells that was able to open a box in Acardia. Well, no encounters in Cardia, so we just have to pull like whatever we can find, and it ended up pulling the 2 to 4 Ghastly encounter, only pulling 2 of them. Over here, Getty Lee Simp, I believe, found this in a box. That was 7 slimes. That's a B-side encounter, but we're having to reset out just because we ran out of zaps, and you can't melee those down.
Nope. And I'll agree with Adam Group in chat that waterfall is an awful long way. Loose herb.
Okay. So we've accounted for 3 loose items so far.
And I didn't notice what the I did not notice what the robot had.
Robot had bottle.
Ah. Which will be nice because they found Gaia already.
Mm-hmm.
There was also an Aegis shield in that waterfall box. Oh, we found a C-split.
Oh, everyone's favorite, and it's reversed, and there's a shard box in it.
Please, C-split into Marsh split.
That tends to be how it just is in this flag set more often than not.
Yeah, at least in every practice seed that my partner and I ran.
Mm-hmm.
And Provoca is Sarda.
Okay.
Oh, Nightmares with Glance and Glare.
Guess we got lucky in our waterfall track if we dodged those. We get a
slab.
slab, which is fascinating because we have both parts of that fetch in easy walking distance.
And Getty's picked up that. Let's see, that slab is through. That's a rod lock on Spell Zap's side. Was that out of Elfland?
The palette makes me think that might be Matoya's cave? Question mark.
Well, that's not where Spellzap went. Spellzap went down to Elfland, and I believe purple is also an Elfland palette.
Then we're probably in Crescent, because they got the canoe super early.
Both teams do have a canoe. All right, let's see. Lupaland gives us a canal.
Helpful with that boat that someone found somewhere along the line. I missed where the boat pickup was, but I did see it lit up over on the Simps screen.
Yeah. So to get here to this match, let me pull that up. me pull up the bracket. To get to this match, the Simps Son beat the Game Changers and lost the coin flip. To get to this match, Crescent Lake Party Planners beat Punishing Platypi and Honorac Oviparity. Now our other semifinal going on, that's also going on this week, is FFR Not Tactics and Team Copium.
So Danny in Marsh Cave with Geddy Lee Simp joining. Meanwhile, Selen Simp in that volcano armory floor where they get the free canoe, still clearing that out. Spells out 4 shards in hand. Thought about heading east again and has decided, nope, I'm gonna turn around. Probably gonna get in that boat that I assume they have at this point, and then head out for greener pastures. No, we're turning in the bottle.
Turning in the bottle? That might have been the boat.
Or looking for armor. Hey, look, the wood armor.
Hey, look, there's the third part of the, Wood Adept.
So that thief is going to be unmeleeable.
Just about. Well, yeah, when you add on its base evade, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I notice only 2 parts of the wood adept, so might have to take a trip back to Canary to get the wood helmet.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Geddy Lee Simp taking another crack at the Wheel of Slimes, flunks out. It's just not zap time for Geddy Lee Simp today.
Yeah, we need to find a Provoca or an Elfland and get some.
Ooh, and the Paralisks have got Lightning 3 just to add insult to injury. Question chat. So I've been out of the FFR game for a bit. What is Wood Adept? Well, we went through and we overhauled the Blursings a bit to add some more spicy ones, make some of them more interesting. And one of the ones we came up with today is Wood Adept. So what Wood Adept says is, regardless of your permissions before, you can now equip the wooden armor, the wooden shield, and the wooden helmet. And once you do equip all 3 of those, you get a bonus 120 evade over whatever evade you already had.
We found Matoya at Crescent Lake. And Volcano is Titan's East.
Similarly,
Space Drake. You have no idea. Steel Lord. You may equip the steel armor regardless of permissions. And steel armor automatically gives you fast.
Yep. Permafast for all encounters. Sounds like it got patched though. That's correct. It did get patched down to 120 evade. It used to say evade capped.
Yeah. Hey, we've found C-Split right goes straight to Bahamut. So Geddy Lee Simp is going to promote.
Okay. First to promote at just shy of the 15-minute mark.
I believe it is not the max evade version.
Right, I believe we did change it to the newer version that had some of the fixes for that.
Partially because it fixed other Blursings that didn't work, like plus gold.
Right. Worth also noting, we have 2 other new Blursings. We have, I'll start with the less interesting one. Red Mage has the Wizard shirt bonus. They can equip either the white shirt or the black shirt. Hooray! Now let's talk about the fun one. Fighter has Thor Master. And what that says is I think they have to wait until class change to equip the Thor Hammer. I don't think they get it out of the gate, but as I was saying, when they get a Thor hammer, they get double the strength bonus to it. And I think they get double something else. Oh, double the damage calculation to it.
And Danny and Geddy Lee are on TFC floor.
Need to play FFR again. Come on in, the water's fine.
You absolutely need to start playing FFR again. And that goes into dwarves.
Meanwhile, Spellzap has found a marsh bottom in what I assume is still Ice Cave. It is Ice Cave.
Yeah.
And we've got loose number 4, the Crown.
Now we just need to find Astos.
Yep.
Hey, no worries, Chanigan. That happens. So let me take this opportunity to give a big shout out to our restreamer and tracker, Chanigan.
Yeah, double duty is never fun. I speak from experience. Thank you very much for assisting.
And Save on Game Over helps out a lot in these flags.
Yeah, that's one of the things. It was in the midst of deciding how we wanted this to kind of go, how we wanted this to feel. There was concern about having problems with early, very, very, very deep dungeons. Save on Game Over helps kind of prevent this from being a 3-hour affair, in that if you make it super deep in a dungeon and then wipe, you don't have to worry about losing all those levels. You don't have to worry about losing all those shards you just got. And it reduces reliance on a white caster with exit.
Yeah, none of the flags I have seen, Rich, have forced black belt.
Game 1 of Crescent Lake versus Onrak, the parody dudes, did in fact have a forced black belt. And I remember one team turfing it, like, as soon as they were able to. I think it was Crescent Lake, who then went on to win.
And Danny's going to promote at about 19 minutes.
I also note that Danny currently has 0 shards.
That could be a problem. Right, it was not a match for the restream.
I didn't remember if it was or not.
Well, in the first round, game 1s were not restreamed.
Right.
And Spellzap heading down to do that waterfall.
Something else I noticed, Geddy Lee Simp also seems to have 0 shards at the moment. And now I'm starting to wonder, because Danny and Geddy have been on the same path basically the entire time, they just might be on the no shards path 20 minutes in.
They're on path that had some shards, but it had like the wheel of slimes and
right.
fights that were just brutal to try and take. And Geddy with the TNT is going to go down and turn that in. And that TNT becomes the adamant, and Crescent Lake gets their herb. We have lazy dwarves in play.
Hooray!
Adamant becomes the chime.
Simps are the first to turn in Adamant to get the chime. I don't believe either of our teams have left the inner sea yet, though.
They have not. And yes, I will agree, Rich. That does sound like some of our practice seeds. Feast or famine on shards.
Right.
Wizards have stone poison. And some kind of paralysis. Oh, you always leave Hooray Dwarf alive.
Yeah.
Hooray Dwarf is love. Hooray Dwarf is life.
You pat him on the head 3 times to absorb all of his luck.
Yes, wizards with dazzle and stone poison. And Getty is going to head up and do some shopping at Renaria. I'm going to assume he's going to get some camping gear, soft. Well, on our team, which one would that be, Rich? Because I'm a keep Hooray Dwarf.
Okay, now Crescent Lake has the ship. They had the canal. And both teams have very nearly cleared out the inner sea. Danny takes a wipe to some ghosts. I don't know if that was a box-related incident.
And that's Melmond. Melmond is immediately carry.
And that is our first to carry, but not by a heck of a lot, because Spell Zap is almost outside too.
I was going to say, but does Spell Zap go for Melmond? And he is.
Yep.
And just some couch cash on Harry's floor, on Carrie's floor rather.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what Terry is locking behind her. Oof.
Our Giants are not playing around today.
And Poison Touch. So Titans East is going to be Ice 1, which is going to go into something. That's a thief.
Okay.
That is a thief behind Carrie, so I kind of like... Oh, Carrie hits like a... Carrie's hitting like a truck. So
Yep.
This may be This may be an opportune time to talk a little more about some of the flags, specifically the scaling. So enemy stats, normal enemy stats are 120 to 220, with hit point scaled 50 to 200%. Boss stats are scaled 120 to 250, with separate hit point scaling of 150 to 300.
Yes, the Fiends are threats.
So the Fiends are, even Lich is not entirely a speed bump.
Steady on. Lich is still a speed bump. Like, you give him 500% stats and he'll very vigorously melee you once for like 50.
Well, I said less of a speed bump. I didn't say not a speed bump. Gargoyles with Lit 2.
We're running into a lot of the scripts just kind of being spread out, which is generally not what you want. You want the scripts to be loaded in like one location so you can just not go to that location and just do the rest of the game.
Yeah. We did not happen to see a war mech appear. Okay, we've got an Earth 2 in wherever Spellzap is, that I think is Titan. I think that's out of
yeah, that's Titan East.
Titan East.
Yeah.
Yes, loaded in one location that is not Topher.
It just makes it more fun.
Yes, I like the way you think, classic gamer.
So, I'm 80% sure that Crescent Lake Party Planners has already been to the Rodlock floor, but I see Danny on it now. I wonder if this is a hunt for shards or a hunt for gear, because we don't have a rod yet.
I believe it's probably a hunt for gear.
Mhm.
Although Carrie with that thief, I would even consider running 2 thief.
That is an interesting question.
I would consider thief, like thief, white, black as a final party.
And so here's where I'm tripping over double thief, is that we need to find 2 weapons for those thieves. Katana, Maza, like a high rolling
Vorpal's incentivized. And the way these flags actually go, the way these flags set up, Vorpal is actually decent.
The second conundrum we run into.
Note the date and time that I said that.
Yeah. The second conundrum we run into is that we need support casts. And I don't know that. So there's Saber at level 5. That really kind of crushes our double Ninja Dream right there.
And Fire 3.
I do not recall spotting Fast or Temper just yet. Let me look at our handy dandy tracker, sponsored by Chanigan, and I don't see it.
Sponsored by Chanigan, and I think Luffy is also helping out with it. And we have not seen Provoca or Elfland yet, but we just found Crescent Lake.
Okay.
And there's an on-rack. We have no Oxyale yet, but we do have an on-rack.
Luffy helping out with the shard count. Current standings, we got Danny with 3 shards. We got Spellzap with 7 shards. Getty Lee Simp with 0, and Sellen Simp with 6. Quick note about Getty's shard count. Danny had to go out of her way to get a couple easy-to-get shards. Bits. Now they're shards.
And Getty finds a Sharknado floor. And there's an Oxyale.
Like, yep, there's the Oxyale.
And we found an Elfland with Fast and Warp.
Alright, self-cast Fast would help with if we could get our hands on a high crit weapon. But no self-cast Saber.
If we get charges of we'll have a Saber Bonk. There will be a Saber Bonk somewhere. So that'll handle one of them, and then tempers for the other.
I think I would just stick with Spellzap's 3. I would just stick with Thief White Black. And yeah, Saber Bonk is loose somewhere. It's not incentivized.
You're right. It's not incentivized, but it is out there somewhere. Maybe it's me. I have had so much. Every seed I have needed to have 2 melees available at the end. There is a Cure 4 at level 4.
Okay.
That is Red Mage learnable.
Oh, comment to Luffy, who is late to the party. That thief is going to absorb Topher punches just fine on account of our Wood Adept and our 40 vitality. This thief is insane.
That thief is going to need to absorb. That thief is going to have to absorb any Topher punches. He's going to dodge them all.
Yeah, and it'll have the health to weather some nukes if it comes to that.
And there's a Marsh top on Getty Lee's side. With nothing really of note so far. ice armor, so that's something good for that knight.
No, the only thing about these ninjas that I am a little concerned about is that there is a trade-off for Wood Adept. It's called no ribbons. So
Yeah.
Wall has to land in a spot that is red learnable, or it's going to be only Spells app that's able to give magic resistance to those ninjas.
Yeah, there is that. But that extra vitality will help them absorb some of that damage, tank some of that damage.
Meanwhile, Geddy Lee Simp with a real pro gamer strat right here. Find a ghost encounter and then just lift gear at it until you take the wipe, and with save on game over, you're back out on the overworld, headed in the right direction. It's the poor man's exit.
Yep. And I have missed every time I have missed where that elf land is.
Don't believe it's.
There's the wall. There's wall at level 3.
Was it red learnable?
It's slot 4.
It was not red learnable, so that's a big bummer.
Is it red wizard learnable though?
Nope.
Okay. I don't remember what's red wizard learnable but not red mage learnable.
So it's helpful to have a chart for this. I used a chart for the longest time until I finally started remembering it. But levels for Elfland spells particularly, at level 3 you get slots 1 and 3. That's at the end. For level 4, as a red mage, you get slots 1 and 3. After promotion, you get slot 4.
Okay. And
chat confirming Earth Cave is Elfland.
Okay, Earth Cave was Elfland.
And yeah, the knight gets everything the red wizard does at 1 through 3. So we got Cure 4 and Harm 3 out of level 4 that are red learnable. That's not bad.
And the thief with a wood adept also has a ruse stick.
Well, until we get levels, probably gonna need it. There was a question in chat. Does the 120 evade stack with thief agility? I believe it does, because I believe those are two different mechanisms. At least this is how it was sold to me. That the plus 120 evade is just like an evade boost, whereas the thief gets bonus agility, which is a whole different ball of wax. They should just mix. We should make this peanut butter and chocolate combined.
Yep. And Danny's on Agama floor, which is in somewhere.
Agama floor, that is... I don't think that's Waterfall. That might be Cardia Double Bottom. Unless she went to Onrak and I wasn't looking.
He may have gone to the on-ramp side. That looks like Waterfall Palette.
Oh, I saw a 6-hit 6 damage from Spellzap versus that carry 1. The good news is we're not going to die. The bad news is we seem to not be good at killing. Also, we just got crit through evasion. So that first slot is not a fun slot for a thief to stand in.
Yeah, 5 for 56. And there's that herb turn in for Geddy Lee, which is a floater.
Ooh, first to the floater for the Simps, son. And that's at Mirage, which, if Danny really is at Onrak, then that's probably going to be our next destination.
That's a good one. That's a good one to find.
the spell zap makes it through the carry fight, picks up a second thief, and is probably headed a gear shopping.
First is headed to res the party member, then headed gear shopping. And we found a lich. So to note for our viewers, Carry and Lich both give you 2 shards. Kraken and Tia both give you 4 shards.
And
it's a white mage behind Lich.
Right. Also, the shards that you get from fiends are not required for you to hit shard go mode, but it's effectively 12 free shards. So that is 12 boxes you don't have to hunt down and open.
Geddy Lee in the air at about 36 minutes and goes to Starda, and Starda is Ice Loop, which is a rod. Ice Loop does have a guaranteed incentive.
And we know what to do with that rod. We found the rod lock early at, I believe, Matoya.
Yes. And yes, Spellzap is an on-rat continent. There's a ribbon. Ribbon plus 5.
Gimme.
Oh, yoink.
For the record, that ribbon plus 5 is basically an opal helmet that is also a ribbon.
Yeah, pretty much.
That actually might be an opal plus 1.
And there's at least a couple shards in that ice loop.
Mirrored parties as Spellzap and Simp are taking on 3 Gasties. Simp makes it first, makes it to 23. Spellzap makes it through next. Split levels, but I saw some 20s, a 19, and a 23.
Yeah, a 19, 2 20s, and a 23. That 23 is on the white mage, because the white mage gets 1.5 XP. And Selen is at 15 shards, Spellzap at 11, Danny at 6. And I don't know about Geddy.
Will be worth noting because Geddy was the furthest behind and is essentially competing with Danny at this point. And there's Simp in the air. Crescent Lake Party Planners, I saw Spellzap headed south from Onrak, probably headed west to...
There's a Dragon Armor plus 2.
Looks like Geddy is up to 3 shards. This is going to be the test of communication. It's going to be which team has...
And there's a loose crystal.
I think that's our 5th.
That is, I believe, our 5th and final loose item.
So yeah, this is going to turn into which team is better able to steer their second party member into where all the shards are, because we've got 2 that are not finding any, and we've got 2 that are finding all of them.
And let's see what's at this Titan's West. That is Cube Lock.
Hooray! We don't have one. But we did get that crystal for a Vorpal plus 4. This seems alright.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Danny tracks down the Lich floor. I don't see the White Mage getting picked up. As Spell Zap, I blinked and missed it. Got the floater, is in the air.
As much as I generally despise the Vorpal, you've got the crit. The crit needs to happen. Mm-hmm. The crit is there. So if you have been enjoying this, race so far, you should give our runners a follow. They are doing a great job to put this on for us. And Spellzap gets that rod and a cake shirt.
Cake shirt that we are apparently very interested in. Meanwhile, I missed it. Danny took down Speed Bump Mark 1 with Zap. One of the almost uncountable number of things that Lich is weak to.
Yeah, I generally prefer Stab. Stab is a very reliable spell to take Lich down.
Every once in a while I get to flex and take down Lich by spamming Ice 3. It's super fun, I recommend it.
Although, the best one I've seen in this tournament so far was, and I believe it was our tracker that did this, took out Chaos with Brack. I'm sorry, Bane.
It's pretty fun. Do recommend that too. So Giddy Lee is going to give us our first look behind this rod lock. What do we have? Second column, third one down. There you go. It is the Marsh Split. Hooray!
I mean, I'm a little sad that it wasn't C Split into Marsh Split or Marsh Split into C Split, but...
Honestly, we've had enough of those this tournament that I'm okay just spreading it out.
But I have seen ones where we've had both sides of a split go to a fiend.
And speaking of fiends, Gaia location, there's our Kraken. I forget.
Do we have a Brack caster in a dream?
I forget. We're about to find out. Our level 1 had Zap, which I would not rely on, and Quake, which is not going to work. But we're headed over. Let's see what fun bag of party tricks Danny has got in store for us.
Those waters are hitting pretty hard. And Danny using the ablative White Mage. Well, White Wizard.
And Nope's out. I guess we didn't have the horsepower for it, but we did detect a red mage back there. Nope decides to house up, go in, try it again.
Oh, burning the encounter. Burning the water encounter. Because it hit so hard.
Meanwhile, Geddy Lee Simp on that north marsh split finds Atia. So that's all 4 fiends accounted for.
And Cardia Forest is a Corneria Castle. That's going to be 2 incentive items. That's going to be...
Our loot? Question mark?
No,
that's our loot.
And our ruby.
Our loot and our ruby. I never play with the ruby one on. I don't recognize those. I'm sitting here thinking sub. Is that an instrument?
And if you see a runner pause when they're stop when they've come out of something or go into something, they're probably updating some sort of communication method between the parties.
That's
some
right.
Sort of record keeping.
we do allow not only voice chat between both players, but also use of some kind of shared document. The only thing we say is no, just straight watching the other's footage, but use whatever tracking means you want. I know for my team, we have a Google Docs spreadsheet that we use that we both are just in at the same time updating.
That is what Rich and I did too. Are you still in the tournament, Fizzle?
Nope, I was not able to participate this year due to prior engagements.
And there is our Saber Bonk.
That is going to be very, very helpful, I think, for
Marsh
especially
split,
if we want to live with like a single melee.
Marsh split bottom is Earth 4. There's at least one shard on Earth 4, and that's an easy encounter. Well,
And
I say that unless grumps or werewolves rolled something awful.
And so our Ordeal's location in Cardia Swamp has got our key. Meanwhile, Danny, having a heck of a time with this Kraken fight. Still working on it. Has an impossible amount of armor, but not much melee, but 2 hits. Crit for 400 something, and away we go. Oh, that was a black mage, not a red mage.
Black mage, and Danny not picking up that black mage.
Fascinating.
Yeah, the red mage was behind Tia, apparently, according to Luffy. There's a Sun Sword. Sun Sword's not a bad pickup. That's Cardia Grass, which is Sky 3, and Sky is it 3? Yes,
yeah,
that's
Sky
3. And Sky provides.
Mm-hmm. So, coming up to 48 minutes and a half, and we've got a bit of a divergence going on. We have the Simps son with both the loot and the key and knowledge of Topher.
Yeah, they are in shards and go mode.
Meanwhile, we've got the Crescent Lake Party Planners, who Spells that might not have as many shards as Celisip does, but I believe Danny still has the edge over Getty.
I believe you are right. But, again, being in shards and go mode, and I want to say that Getty is pretty much has his gear.
So I see Danny at 15 shards. Hey, Provoca.
Hey, we have a Provoca.
Garbage White.
And we have a Ribbon at Astos.
Level 2 nuke, let's go!
Oh yeah.
So Spell Zap also at 15.
That's an Opal Bonk, which would be great if you didn't already have a Saber Bonk.
Selling Simp at 19. Come on, Getty Lisa, open your menu. I want to count your shots. Getty Lisa at 11 shards.
Yep. And that was a Ruse Bonk.
Yep.
Ruse Bonk is a nice bonk.
2 ruse items, not so bad. Having it on a bonk is okay if you're a mage, but a little awkward for the melee because they kinda have armor slots at a premium.
Well,
oh, and our tracker pointing out no shards in mermaids. Oh.
Well, then you carbonate bubbles and get out. This particular portion of the race is brought to you by the Bubbles Soda Company. And Spellzap heading into Ordeals, gonna find that key.
Now all they have to do is go to that location that had Canaria Castle at it, and that was,
I believe, Forest, Cardia Forest. Well, Getty's walking out. He didn't have exit, so he's making. No, he's going to north.
He's going to a floor where he can force a wipe. He ain't gonna do that on Marsh Split, but the north, the Tia, there's a Tia floor up there somewhere that will do the job.
Yes. Even when it's not items, Guy still provides.
Or heck, this C floor would probably be okay, but this might also be alright. Or the teleporter in the back. That'll work too.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Simp up against the mighty Kraken.
And there goes Kraken.
That's what I get for looking away for a while. Bypasses the Black Mage on the way out. So it looks like, right now, Danny is covering already trodden ground, looking for any shards that she can lay claim to, as Spellzap is continuing forward progression and is looking for our last two key items. We got the key, now just got to find the loot.
Which we know is in Cardia, or is in Corneria.
Right, which I believe we're about to bump into.
Yes. There's Ruby, there's a loot. Wait, Sarah with the loot? Is this even randomized?
I mean, the king did have a hoagie, so...
And Spellzap's going to go back and check the Cardia locked, which I fully support this check. There's a pro ring that... There's 2 pro rings.
2 free pro rings is not bad. But I think we're more interested in that shard.
I think we're more interested in that shard and potentially something like a katana.
Comment in chat, if you look away long enough to miss a non-brat Kraken, you have little chance of catching a lich fight. There's never a lich fight. It's bullying, and it's not something that our channel condones. However, because it was something that was included with the game, we are respectfully leaving it in.
And Danny picks up that ribbon from Astos. And there is, in fact, a shard here. And Getty's going to take out that Kraken.
Going for Bane Sword strats, I like it. Nuke is a backup plan. Get in for over 200 damage, second nuke for 155. Melee detonates the red mage. We're going to keep going with our backup damage strats, but I don't know how far we'll get with those. Ink goes off, does ink things. Nuke for 100. Bane? Nope, no poison smoke yet. Here comes Blizzard, not doing much to what I assume is 2 ribbon characters. Nuke for almost 400. Bane not quite getting there. We're pretty much at the point where swinging is going to get this thing down faster than Bane will. Bane is ineffective. Incoming melee for 150 damage. That's a wake-up call for that night. Let's try
Let's
And
continue
again,
to try bang.
Blaze. Kraken's still there. Nuke goes off for 394. Damage wins the day. Down goes Kraken.
And Sullen is going to pick up that 8th. And is going to wood adapt him up.
Yeah, we got to get him the wooden clothes stat.
No, he had them.
Oh, okay. And we got this here Q block. That I think this is going to be the first time we look behind it, and it's Mirage 1.
Mirage 1 with at least 2, and then that's into a Cardia Treasure.
Well, no more down here, but there were at least 2 behind that Q block, so that's not bad.
That's into the heart. That's into the heart-shaped box room.
Yeah, one.
Yeah, Sullen is at 24 shards. Spellzap at 15. Danny at 17. There's an Opal Cheerio.
Take it.
I'll always take an Opal Cheerio. Getty is at 18. Well, we'll be at 18.
We'll be at 18 after these 2 boxes, yeah. This is an extremely competitive race right now.
Yes, it is. And Danny gets that Saber Bonk. And Sullen is going to go up and take on Tia. Sullen is already down to Kraken, is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
I believe Sullen will be the first on stream to kill all 4 fiends. Because we got the ninja.
12
so
free shards.
Yeah, we got the ninja, so we definitely did carry. I'm pretty sure Sullen saw Lich. I know Sullen saw Kraken, and we're about to kill Tia.
Okay, well, I didn't remember on Kraken, but I was pretty sure. There's that Vorpal.
All the bullying of Lich talk, and yet nobody talks about how that vampire always gets it even worse. That vampire is a lesson in the buddy system. You never leave your buddy behind. All his friends took off to Mirage Tower and just left him behind, and what does he get for it? 4 Light Warriors dismantling him.
Yeah. And Danny is going back through that rod lock floor, purely looking for shards.
We're going to be headed back down also to the Tia that is behind it.
Yes, there is that. And I'm not sure what Spellzap is looking for. And there's Geddy Lee getting that thief. And he's gonna wood adapt him up.
Spellzap, I believe, is still the forward exploration of the Crescent Lake Party Planners. So he's on the lookout for shard boxes. He'll get them first and then relay the info to Danny. Hey, at this location, there is blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Shard boxes. This is a weird spot to be in, I think, for both teams, because as I think about it, we've been to every entrance, right? And yet we're still not shard capped.
I think we have.
We're doing a lot of backtracking and double backing right now. Spellzap
And there
finds
was-
the Womp Womp Mermaid's floor.
There is one shard on mermaids, but it looked like that was the only shard on mermaids. I wonder if Selen may be looking for a Massa. That's about the only reason I can think of that he would still be opening non-shard boxes.
Right.
Massa or Katana.
In this flag set, the Massa is not buffed, so it would be kind of on par with the Vorpal.
I mean, it's still a good weapon.
They're comparable in this flag set, I think. But that Katana would be just the nicest find.
Yeah, it would. With that ninja. And I suspect that's what Spellzap is looking for, is that Katana. Oh, there are two. There are two shards there on Mermaid floor.
And Selen Simp are first in go mode. We're gonna figure out how long it is before we just mash Topher. Might be headed straight there.
Headed straight there.
Yeah.
Although, I might do one thing first, and that is to get to 99. And is to get to 99 heal pots.
Apparently we don't have time for that.
I don't know that we've gone into Onrak Dungeon. Oh, that was Agama floor.
Meanwhile, Danny versus
There's that
Tia.
Katana.
Ooh, what was it?
+2.
Alright, we'll take it, I guess.
It's better than the Sun Sword +3.
Danny taking on Tia 1. I don't recall seeing anything mean or nasty out of this. And 5 hits for 681, nuke for an evenly terrible 100 damage, another nuke for 169, Tia missing with melee. This is going to be over somewhat quickly. 439 down goes Tia.
The only thing I remembered out of it was that it seemed to be a good bit of absorb.
So Danny is 8 shards short of go mode.
And at 104.10, Stellan Simp is into Topher. Ribbon and validation box.
Validation ribbon. Oh my god.
Wow, that's a low percentage play, but it works.
Well, when you're that far ahead of your teammate, there's no real reason not to.
Yeah, that way you can let your teammate know that validation left has a ribbon.
Yep.
So, if you have been enjoying this race, I'll plug the runners again. If you have been enjoying this race, you should give these runners a follow. Also, you should give Chanigan, our restreamer and tracker, a follow.
He's doing all the real work here.
As well as my broadcast partner, as well as Luffy DV, who has stepped in to help with some tracking. And my broadcast partner, Lord Fizzlebee.
That guy never streams.
And yes, the time is when the second runner from the team finishes. So one of the very important things for your first runner in Topher is to note what the fiend, what the fiend reduxes have.
Right. So nuke for 342 and nuke for 292. Lich still there. 5 hits 419. Lich still there. 4 hits 175. Lich continues to be there. A rather chunky lad whose only threat so far was a single melee hit for 12. Can't even land the other melee hit. Look at this idiot. 5 hits for 303. Down goes Lich 2.
Chunky Lich that all he does is punch. And selling onto Fire Floor.
No real information out of that Lich is unfortunate. Because we can't even confirm that that was a melee-only script, just that we just saw 2 melee punches in a row.
Oh my. Both katanas in Topher. In locked Toph and...
No, the other one was Ribbon. We saw katana somewhere else, I thought. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. The lockbox
was
on the
in
right-hand
locked
side.
Toph, and then
Yeah.
and then in the Fire Floor. I did
Oh,
not
man.
know there were chests down here.
Yep, they exist here. So
Yeah, one in
Spellzap.
Toph lock and one on Carry Floor.
So Crescent Lake party planners are in the midst of cleaning up fiend fights.
I don't know that I would be doing this just because as soon as I jump into this Toph, I'm waiting for the dot done from my partners or from my opponents. Especially when it's Danny and Spellzap.
I would be doing this, and here's why. I would be in communication with my partner, and if my partner says, hey, I'm still like 8 shards out, then if I can find something magical in these Topher boxes, I can point them out to my partner and say, look, I know you're going to be under the gun, but you really need to make time for this box over here. If the true irony is that the one person that Selling Simp really wants to give this information to is Spellzap, because Spellzap is interested in 2 katanas.
Yeah.
Updated shard count. Getty Lee Simp at 26 shards, Danny at 29 shards. I think Danny might have overtaken Spellzap in shards.
I believe she did.
Oop, an update. Getty Lee up to 29 shards. Those boxes are going to be 30 and 31.
Yeah.
Spellzap, what do you got?
And I missed that carry fight. I missed that carry 2 fight. Because I was looking for shard counts.
Well, Spellzap's not in shard go mode yet. And I couldn't see the shards. Stupid fast menuing. But they're both headed to the same place, and there's 2 here.
And Getty's going to go for that ribbon.
And if he has not opened the boxes here, which I believe he hasn't, this will make his 32nd shard.
I believe you're right. And Thelen has definitely told him about the 2 katanas.
One far easier to get than the other one.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Selling Simp on the Kraken 2 fight already completed several buffs, and we're going into full damage and nuke strats. Fire 3 coming out. Significant damage to the ninja. 3 hits 328 out of melee. Nuke for 199. Katana swing. 3 hits 209 at the nuke. For 118, Kraken is still there. we're starting to see a little bit of the downside of the no ribbons, because that blaze did a lot of damage to that ninja standing there wearing armor.
But stab is still a very reliable spell.
Meanwhile, Getty Leeson still going on a little bit of a shopping spree, getting the Vorpal. Not sure what else we still need. Danny needs 1 shard that is not here. Spellzap needs 2 more shards that are also not here.
Yes, and Selen did change around his thief equipment to get that, and Selen is on Tia too.
Interesting. Dropped the Wood Adept so we can get ribbon potential. If that's our best damage dealer, I kind of like the change. Here comes the crack.
Yes, they know the crack.
3 hits, 183, not doing too bad. Nuke for 370, that's a good hit. Ruse on the top meat shield, and a Cure 4 to top them off. Let's try some Red Mage Nuke for 334, okay. Incoming melee almost takes down the Black Mage, but it still hangs on. Single melee hit for 92, not doing good.
This shard for Danny should be go mode.
Tia lets loose the nuke, only takes down the Black Mage. Didn't seem to do a lot of damage elsewhere. Doing a lot of self-buffing. We're going to try heal 3 after that nuke. 2 hits, 171. Here comes a fire 3. Doing okay. Here comes a heal 3. Let's try that Vorpal swing. 2 hits, 290. Sure do wish we had some block right now. Here comes fire 3.
Yeah.
Heal 3 goes out.
The lock was way up there.
Vorpal swing for 458. Katana swing for 176. This Tia has all the defense. 4 hits, 555, still there. 3 hits, 186. We are through Tia 2. Is Kitty Lee Simps second to enter at 1 hour, 13 minutes, 10 seconds. Danny right behind. Call it 1 hour, 13 minutes, 20 seconds. Maybe 30 seconds after this Garland steamroll.
And Selen is onto Kraken's floor. Or is onto Chaos's floor.
It's Chaos fight time. Looks like we're not bringing the Black Mage to life. Here we go. Time for Ruse, time for Fast. Fast goes off, Ruse goes off. Test swing out of that Katana. Single hit for 67 damage. And we got a 3-hit Chaos for the trouble. We're going to try some more Ruse, some more Fast. Here comes the Lit 2. All 3 of these party members are using ribbons, so that's okay. 147 out of the Katana, not spectacular. And we're on weight strats. Here comes Nuclear. Takes our Ninja and Red Mage to under 300 health. Out goes the Katana, 6 hits for 285. We need more power. We've got some heal 3s to attempt to top off, but we need more power. 6 hits for 285. Here comes Bane. Doesn't make it through the ribbons. Heal 3 goes off. Gets the Ninja above 300. Basically on nothing but heal 3 strats to try and undo the damage of that nuke. Swing out of the Katana for 300 or so damage. More Saber Bonks. Incoming melee misses. Time to deploy the Vorpal. Katana up first, 6 hits for 323. How's that Vorpal looking? 7 hits, 728.
728. Snicker snack.
I somehow expected more than that. Let's try double melee weight. Here comes Lit 3, not much. Vorpal swing. 4 hits for, I believe, 929, 6 hits for 403. Chaos, rather large lad today, eating his Wheaties. 6 hits for 413.
There's a Swirl.
Swirl not going to do much. 4 hits for 444. Going to do a little bit of heal 3 just in case. 4 hits, 480. Chaos still there. Katana swing. 4 hits, 267. Chaos is enormous.
Chaos is chunky tonight.
The last heal 3 going out gets us as close to topped off as we're ever going to get. Here comes the fire 2, ain't going to do much. Katana swing. 6 hits.
There we go.
115.34
for Selen Sim.
First person on stream to take down Chaos. Get your single G out in chat. And meanwhile, we got ourselves a 2v1 race. We got Danny and Getty on the same floor. Spell Zap, not terribly far behind. About to be only one floor back. We got Nuke, we got Katana, 5 hits, 172. We got more Nuke. Giddy Lee Simp copying Brother and Simp arms by just kind of leaving that Black Mage out there to die. I guess we just really don't need that thing. Incoming Ice 2. Black Mage continuing to hold on. Nuke goes out for 272. More Nuke goes out for 190. Carry's still there. In contrast, Danny going for evasion strats. Double evasion strats, but also piling on the Nuke. Carry says, stop. Nobody stops. Nuke goes out for 200. Vorpal swing. 4 hits, 162. Giddy is the first through Carry. And onto the water floor. Solid nuke out of the Black Mage. 2 solid nukes in a row. Danny is also through Carry 2 on the way to the water floor.
And Spell Zap is through Lich 2 and headed to Fire Floor.
Still only a single floor behind.
This is gonna be close. The Grey Worms try Rub.
Here's our Kraken 2 fight. Ninja
Spell
the first
Zap
slot
never
going
picked
for...
up that. Spell Zap never picked up either Katana.
Not gonna need him. I assume he's good to go with melee. Ruse on the evasion tank, fast going off. Danny trapped in a fight with Waters, manages to get out. Gonna have to do a little bit of healing real quick. Here comes an Inferno out of Kraken 2. We're using the rest of our nukes to try and get through this fight. 3 hits, 277. Our melee is not supporting us as well as it could be. Nukes continuing to go out. Danny finally entering the Kraken 2 fight. Slow 2 came out. I did not see who it was targeting or if it landed. Nuke going out for not much. Melee swing for 380. I am trying to watch 3 fights at the same time. I am not good at it.
Ink things. Here, I'll watch Danny and Spell Zap.
All right. So Giddy
Spell
Lee
Zap
Simp
through Kraken or through Carry 2.
Giddy Lee Simp still working on making it through. Going for Zap strats. Going for maximum BM on this. Doesn't quite get there. Melee swing gets Giddy Lee Simp through.
And Danny with nuke, wait. With some nuke and some weight. 145, 663, 6 hits with that Vorpal. Nuke, fight, wait, nuke. That's going to be 223, 148, and 5 for 881, and there goes Kraken. So Danny onto air floor.
Giddy Lee Simp working on the Tia 2 fight, going for ruses, going for fast. We're going to bonk up that night. Here comes Nuke. Nuke doing rather tiny numbers across the board. 200 or less to all the characters. Incoming melee strikes the Black Mage. Tia says, nope, I want to get rid of that as soon as possible. That's a nuke totem, and I don't like it. Bad
That's
melee.
Got nuke and lock, and I don't like it.
The lock lands. Nuke goes out for 139. 4 hits, 402 seems okay. A lock goes out. Katana swing. 4 hits, 220. Incoming melee, not doing much.
Okay, Danny has lost a red mage. Meanwhile, Spell Zap on Kraken. Kraken 2 is not doing Kraken 2 things because it's not immediately meleeing the white mage. But that is some good melee out of Spell Zap. And Kraken 2 down on Spell Zap's side.
Giddy Lee terminating Tia 2 at the exact same time Spell Zap took down Kraken 2. Giddy Lee is on to Chaos. Danny still working on the Tia 2 fight. Having some problems keeping some of the party members upright. Gets turn order on the Cure 4. 2 hits 402, Tia still there. Chip damage ice 3, Tia still there. Vorpal swing for 342.
And there comes Crack.
Spell Zap now also on the Tia 2 fight.
And Damage Poison comes out.
Last minute gear jiggling out of Getty Lee Simp.
I know if I were sitting in Getty Lee's place, I'd be watching. Wait, where's the dot done? Where's the dot done?
We're on to Chaos. Double Ruse going off on the top 2 slots. Chaos opens with Nuclear. 160 to the Red Mage. That's kind of the one that we wanted to hit the least. Fast goes off. The Double Ruse continues.
And
Second
Danny
Fast is going to go off.
Danny's through Tia 2. And we're on to Chaos.
Incoming Bane. No bad things happen. Heal 3 goes off, undoing the damage of that Nuclear from earlier. Gonna try a stab. 6 hits 421. Knight is gonna continue to bonk. Here comes a zap. Doesn't do anything. Heal 3 goes off. Danny pulling Chaos.
Yep.
Hits
Chaos
150.
pulled on Danny's screen.
More saber bonks going off. Switching to double melee strat. 3 hits for 249 out of the ninja. Incoming melee misses. Outgoing melee. Couldn't see it. It was either really big or really small. I'm not sure which.
And
Katana swings again.
Spell Zap is through Tia 2, but
6 hits,
only has his
415.
2 melees.
Incoming swirl. 4 hits 745, Chaos still there. 6 hits 357, Chaos still there. Spell Zap.
Spell Zap
doing
pulling
the last minute
Chaos.
jiggle. The stop is dodged. 5 hits 244, Chaos still there. 3 hits 498. Oh, Chaos needs to do something now or he's toast, but he doesn't. 5 hits 784.
Getty Lee Simp downs Chaos with an
The
official
Simps.
race bot time of 1:23:23.
GG to the Simps, son. Meanwhile, over on the Crescent Lake Party Planners side, Danny's Black Mage goes down to a swirl. 5 hits 731. Sizable damage out of that fighter. Incoming melee detonates the Red Mage. I have a feeling we didn't need it anymore. 6 hits over 1,000. The first time we saw 4 entire digits out of some melee damage. Spell Zap continuing the attempt to defense up. Bane takes out Ninja number 1. Stabers going off. Top side, 5 hits 434. Zap misses. Zap misses on both accounts. Ninja swing, 2 hits 332. Doesn't seem good. The Nuclear takes us under 300, but we're still gonna melee. Meanwhile, up on Danny's side, we're on wait and swing. We've rounded back to the Nuclear. We're not even interested in topping off at this point. 6 hits 1100 damage.
There we go.
Meanwhile, for Spell Zap, two hits 410. Chaos still there. Incoming melee misses. 2 hits 404. 2 hits 278. We're looking for that crit loop, but we ain't finding it. We're dodging all the magic. 3 hits
how does that
973.
work?
Down goes Chaos. Crescent Lake Party Planners finish with an official race time GG time of 1 hour 24 minutes and 45 seconds. GG.
Well done to both teams. This was a heck of a race.
Gonna find out if either of our teams want to come in for an interview. We got Getty Lee Simp in chat. Getty Lee Simp declining the interview, and I have a feeling that Cell and Simp is also going to be declining. Our Simps will remain in mystery for the time being. Cell and Simp in the David Factorio. Understandable. Have a nice day.
Hey, great race, guys. Great race, Getty.
That was extremely even. It was very, very, very even exploration with Spellzap and Cell and Simp basically following a path, and Danny and Getty Lee Simp following a path. The real turning point, I think, came after getting in the air. And we're joined in the booth by our second place finisher, Danny. How's it going, Danny?
That early game sucked.
Yep.
Yeah, it did.
A lot. A lot.
Will your partner be joining us?
Likely not.
Okay. So...
He made surprises, but probably not. It's late.
It is late. Let's talk early game. How do you feel about Ice 2, Zap, and Quake?
Well, I didn't used to have any problem with them, but I can't say we're friends anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's actually rewind just a teensy tiny bit. Very start of the game, we see the most buff thief I've ever seen in my life. We've got Wood Adept and 40 Vitality, and everybody but Spellzap still went for fighter strats. Danny, what's up with the fighter?
Because everything's better in my life when I have a fizz.
Yeah,
But also, like, I feel more comfortable in-game having a fighter than the thief. I mean, I can make a thief work, that's fine. But also, I may not have also noticed the blessings really well on that thief. So, I was very surprised to see Spellzap with ones that had over 700 HP when I tuned into this race. I was like, oh, that must have been a blessing. Got it.
Yep, sure was.
Yeah. 40 Vitality and Wood Adapt.
I remember the Wood Adapt. I don't remember much else other than that. We were talking like what we took as parties, and I said a red mage. Just like I think it was really good. It had like 200 something in listed, and that seems good, right?
200 gold.
Like, yeah, and then he just goes, I think that's just 200 gold. And I was like, oh, well, whatever. It's what
But
we're
it
taking.
did have wizard shirts. So,
No,
I mean, there was
but I
that.
don't think we found any. At least
Next
I didn't.
question
Someone found a
is-
Quake shirt.
That was in the ice loop somewhere, yeah. Next question is, and this is directed at Danny. Both you and Getty Lee Simp were sitting at 0 shards right around the 20-minute mark. Was there a sense of panic?
Yeah, sure was. I think I might have had one 15 minutes later. It was so bad. Because, like, I saw a few boxes that I knew I couldn't get through, so there was no point in checking them because I was just going to die. When I wasn't constantly dying anyways, because everything that just saw me is like, hey, you shouldn't be alive. Let's fix that. And so, yeah, it felt real not good. And then I finally get out of Marsh after finding out everything that's there. And I know I have to go to Elfin to get my boat. And he just goes, stop at the armory. There's shards there. And I went, ooh, and levels. It's like, okay. But it was not good. It felt real bad.
And your co-sufferer says, asks in chat, how about those bad men with stone touch and 3 hits?
Oh, yeah. Sky floors were not fun.
Yeah, the
like
bad
Usually Sky provides.
And the thing is like I'm doing all these floors. I keep doing all of them because we've got loose. We need to find loose. These are things we need to do. So I'm gonna just keep checking boxes. And Spellzap found every single loose.
Oh.
I found a lot of little like swords. I had a dragon sword, a coral sword, a rune sword. If I had forgotten I had the Vorpal from the crystal turret in, and I was like, I don't really have a typical in-game weapon, but I got all these, and we're gonna make them work. It's like there's a Vorpal, Matoya, Crest. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. All right, we'll pick that up. But like,
no one found a Massa.
Yeah, we didn't find it either. All the good stuff we did find, like all the loose, spells that found. All the ribbons, spells that found. I was playing like from a good, as soon as I finished clearing Inner Sea, and there was a couple of places to do. Like, I feel like I was just playing catch up the entire race.
There were two katanas, both in Toph.
Yeah, we found that out in the race room afterwards, because we were both like, can't believe we didn't find one katana anywhere. Like, well, because we went in, because we are horrible about notes, because why do those? And there was a lot of, where were shards that I didn't go or you didn't go, and we were trying to figure out where shards were, so we probably looked like chickens running around with their heads cut off the last 20 minutes before Topher.
Yeah, there was a lot of that from both teams. But there was a lot of double dipping locations, I feel like, from both teams. I think we saw the entire world at like the 45-50 minute mark, and then it was everyone just kind of going to locations that someone had already been to.
Yeah, there was a lot of, okay, well, Lich is too. Where was Lich? I don't remember. Okay, well, it's like, I remember there was a lot on this floor. Where is that? I'm not sure.
And I'll tell you that Selin Simp was first on stream to hit Shard Go mode, and right around, I think, 2 to 3 minutes after is when both you and Getty Lee Simp hit Shard Go mode at the exact same moment, and then Spellslap went off to get the one last shard, and then was just a minute behind you guys into Topher.
And the funny thing is, like you mentioned that katana in Toph Locked, was I still need to get that Rue staff out of the Toph chest. So I go to get it, and it was right then we remember there was 3 shards on that Agama floor that he could get. And I was going to check Toph Lock to see if there was any there. And I was like, do you still want me to check there? And he's like, no, I got the shards in this floor. Just go ahead and go. We almost had the katana. I mean, it wouldn't have done me any good, but like he almost had one. Almost. But then our brains worked and we remembered where shards were and we missed out.
And the other one was, of course, on Carry floor.
Yep.
Which I didn't realize. I had never known there were chests on Carry floor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Normally, there's never a reason to check them.
No, I mentioned the swords that I had because, like, normally I wouldn't have, but we've already had one race where we had to make, like, a dragon plus 3 or 4 on a rune sword work to get through Topher. So, like, at this point, it's like, it's fine. If I got these, we're just going.
Oh,
it'll work or we'll get bounced. Either way, we're going.
Classic Gamer points out something I forgot to mention. The ribbon and left side validation chest.
Yep.
Of course there was.
Yep.
I mean, I had one on my one life caster and I had one on my knight, so I wasn't too worried about it. But yeah, 3 ribbons is always nice. You can deck out the majority of your party with pretty hair.
Well, I think we're going to shuffle this along to final thoughts. Danny is last runner standing in the comms booth. Final thoughts.
Sorry. You said that and I giggled. Like, are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'll commit to it.
Alright. We won't tell anybody. No, that was fun. That early game felt awful, and I was sure 10 minutes in we were going to lose, so I'm not at all surprised we didn't. Felt like we might pull it out, and then Getty had the dot done. Thanks, Getty. See if I listen to your music anymore. But, no, that was fun. Tomorrow is at 2 or 11, or not 2, 1:30 or 11. Not entirely sure yet, but that's when race 2 will be. And I look forward to it. I always have fun with co-ops, so like it would be great to get a game 3, maybe make it to the finals again. If not, like we knew going in that the Simps were going to be a hard team to beat, but we wanted to play them because we thought it'd be fun this week. So either way, it's all good. GG to the other team.
Makocom's partner in crime, DM Stewart, final thoughts.
That was a really interesting co-op seed. I got to learn things that I never knew, like there are chests on Carry floor. seeing the way that one player kept getting all the shards and the other one kept getting blocked out from them, it really reminded me a lot of my partner and I's practice runs, because that always happened to us too. So it just seemed like co-op doing co-op things in a lot of cases.
All right. Everybody stick around. We have the thrilling game 2 tomorrow at insert time here. And it's probably going to be on either Final Fantasy Randomizer or RPG Limit Break. Not sure which yet.
It'll be here.
It'll be here. Stick around. We have all kinds of co-op action coming your way for everybody here at Final Fantasy Randomizer. My name is Lorphin Morphin, and we will see you next time. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.